In this video I'm going to show you a tip. A lot of people are unaware of this, so I figured I would put this video out. This is especially useful if somebody's into drafting or they're an artist and they're looking for a light table. Now a lot of light tables can cost a lot of money. I have friends of mine that purchase light tables and they're not exactly cheap. But I'm going to show you a way that you can get a light table that works really good for free. Inside computer LCD screens, LCD TVs, there is a panel that's made out of clear acrylic or a similar material. It could be Lexan, plexiglass, but whatever it is, it's a clear panel with a white backing. On the back of this is a white backing. Now the fluorescent tube, which is located along this back edge, you can see there's a pink wire going into one side, and on this end there's a white wire. And this tube is slid over the end of this acrylic panel. And what it does, it creates a nice bright backlight for your LCD screens so you can see all the images. Now you could find a lot of these laying around. Now this small one right here is out of a small portable DVD player. It had an LCD screen. That particular electronic device had a faulty board. It wasn't really worth fixing. And what I did is I salvaged the backlight out of that panel. Now this particular one is maybe 3.5 by 7. And if you take one from a computer laptop, you could find a panel like this one that's around 16 to 18 inches long and fairly wide. And that is more than sufficient enough. If you wanted to trace something, you could lay something like that on there, put the paper over the top, and then you would turn on the light, which I'll show you in a minute. Now the cold cathode fluorescent lamp that's inside this panel here lasts an extremely long time. As you know, TVs are on many hours a day for years, and that compact fluorescent tube does not burn out. There are occasions when they do burn out if your screen goes completely black, but it's not that frequent. Most of the time people throw away these televisions and computer monitors because of other problems where the screen has a bunch of lines over it or there's distortions. So these panels are usually good when you find them in the trash. So it pays if you could find a 32-inch TV, pull out the back panel. There's going to be a metal frame around the entire LCD screen. You're going to remove the metal frame very carefully, and there's going to be a whole bunch of plastic sheets over the front of the backlight. And you're going to take away all those sheets, and you're going to be left with just the pink and white wire going into the cold cathode tube and this plastic back panel right here. That's all you want. And you could lay this on a hard surface. You can do whatever you want to it. You're not going to damage it because the bulb is on the end. You can affix this to a piece of plywood if you would like to have a nice sturdy area to work. Maybe frame it in. It's all up to whatever you would like to do. How it works, it takes a DC voltage supply. In this case, over here it says voltage in, 9 volts. Then it says ground, and it says power. So I connected my 9 volts and my ground to my power supply. Now you could also take a wall transformer to power this. You don't need a power supply like this. It doesn't draw too much current, so a simple wall transformer would work just fine, a 9 volt. And in this case there's a power on off, which is the red, and then the black is voltage in, and the green is the ground. So you take the green and that goes to the negative, and then I connect the black to the positive, and then as soon as you touch the red to the positive, it turns the circuit on. So right now I have the red and black together here, and I have the ground on this one. This board is called an inverter board. It takes the low voltage DC into a high voltage output. The high voltage output several hundred volts, and that's what ionizes the gas inside the tube. Now right here is a tube that you will find inside of a 15-inch LCD screen in your computer monitor. Now it's extremely, extremely thin. It's even thinner than a drink stir for a cocktail, and it's very fragile. And on each end, the wire is soldered on to this location also, and this whole entire tube will light up. So you want to be very careful when you disassemble, especially a computer screen, not to, you can bend this a little bit like I'm bending, but don't get carried away because you will bust it. So as you can see, if you had a panel that was this big, all right, that's pretty wide. You could put a full sheet of paper in here and you could do your tracing, and it won't cost you a penny. Just find one that somebody threw out. If you see somebody throwing a TV or a computer monitor away, take it home and just pull out the back panel with the tube and the inverter, and you're good to go. If you wanted a nice light for something, it also makes a really great light. Let me turn it on. Has a nice cast. Now it'll get brighter in a minute as it warms up. It's just like a regular fluorescent tube. Give it about a minute, it'll get brighter. So the light's really, really neat. You got this nice flat panel light here. Throws off a really good amount of light. So I'll push this back down, move the board a little out of the way. Alright. So you're not going to hurt that. It's very strong. I could lay this skull right in the middle. And I could take this paper, which is really heavy if I don't have anything thinner around. And there you have it. You have a perfect image of the skull. So right now, if I want, you could trace out the whole thing here with the nose. All right. You got the mouth. You got all the teeth thrown in there. So it's pretty neat. So definitely don't go buying one of these light tables when you can get one of these for free out of the trash. The chances are 90% that the backlight is still perfect inside the TV that's damaged. You'll have yourself a very nice light table for free. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please rate it a thumbs up, subscribe, and post links to this video on other websites and blogs.